The DJI Avinox e-bike motor was introduced last week at Eurobike, and it stole the show. Ran away with it, put it in its hip pocket. And in this video, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why it's justified, why this is the best e-bike motor today. But I'm also going to tell you 2 reasons why you should not buy this motor, or you should not wait, hold up your purchase to buy this motor. All right, I don't know if you saw the DJI Avinox motor. I actually have data from the day before and leaked it out, and everything I suspected was true. Everyone who wrote it was just blown away by this motor. And the fact that they introduced a mid-drive motor, a drone company introduced a mid-drive motor, says a lot about our industry. Where are we going? You know, this is going to become a big deal for transportation. It's going to go beyond just biking. You know, it's going to be a means of personal mobility, and that's why DJI is interested in this, and a lot of car companies as well. But 5 reasons why it's the best. The first reason is it has the best power and power to weight ratio. Basically, what they put out, this little motor everyone's holding in their hand, has 105 newton-meters of torque. And torque is everything. You know, watts is not as important as torque, because this is what gets you up the hill. Torque is what changes your speed, and DJI has it. In fact, they have a turbo mode for 30 seconds that gives 120 newton meters of torque. In fact, you can keep hitting it, so you can just ride in 120 if you want. And it's just mind-blowing how they were able to put this much output in this little motor. So basically, this is what's constraining us. Everyone wants a light bike that has a lot of power and good range, and no one can really do it because the motors don't allow us to do it. No matter what these bike manufacturers try, they're constrained by the motor. And now the motor will allow a 42-pound bike that will go ballistic on you. So really good job here. The number 2 reason is the batteries. The batteries they offer are very compelling, 600 watt hours and 800 watt hours. So it's good that they're offering 2 batteries, and both of these batteries are very light. Their 800 watt hour is lighter than the Bosch motor, the 750, and lighter than the Levo motor at 700. That's how light it is. So if you want the light bike, go for the 600, and it's going to be good as well. Aside from being good power to weight ratio, the quality, they have the best cells, and they have really good monitoring, meaning they'll charge it fully to its capacity, 100%, and then if you don't use it after a day, it's going to discharge a little bit. Keep it down on a safer level where it's not degrading itself. If you don't charge it for a week, it'll put it down to storage mode. So really intelligent battery. They've been doing this in their drones for a few years now, and they are very good at it. The last part is they have the ability to fast charge these batteries. A lot of our chargers in our Levos and our Shimanos are 160 watts, 180 watts. This battery can charge at 500 watts. They have a slow charger and a fast charger. And the fast charger allows you to charge mid-ride, go from like 10% to 75%, while you're having a snack in an hour and change. Third reason why this motor is so compelling is because it is quiet. It is quiet, and it is usable. It is sensitive, has very good resolution. Everyone who's ridden it was like, wow, puts out so much power, but you can barely hear it. And it's just a tribute to their engineering and sealing. They even have 3 plastic gears where it could withstand the torque, and that's because it saves weight, makes this whole thing lighter, and it also makes it more quiet. Instead of using a belt making it quiet, just have some plastic gears, where you can get away with it. And finally, no rattle. Every report so far, no rattle on the downhill. They just don't accept that. The thing that the other manufacturers do when you're coasting downhill, this thing just doesn't rattle. That's unacceptable anyway. All right, the 4th reason why this is so compelling is it is small, has a nice form factor, nice industrial design. That means you don't have to angle it up like this, like the Levo motor. It doesn't increase the length of your chain stay. You have options with the battery placement. It allows for a pretty good-looking bike. And in the DJI world, industrial design is a huge part of their business, just like Apple. So the switches are very, have a good feeling. They're very robust, nice tactile feel, good quality touch points. The touch screen on the display. They take their industrial design seriously. All right, and the number 5 reason why this is so compelling is because their display is incredible. It's like nothing we've seen before. It's like the Trek display, but bigger, and has, I think, full color, and it has it's touchscreen, so you can just scroll through the pages like this, and it's like your iPad basically, or your phone. And it's the visibility and the resolution is unlike anything we've seen before. You even have a control for it on your handlebar, on your right handlebar, and this is very typical DJI. They take this very seriously. Has 8 gigs of memory, so you can record everything. You can record all your rides. You can dig up all your information, how many watts the motor generated and how much you generated during your ride last 3 weeks ago. So a lot of analysis, a lot of statistics are available with this motor if you want it. And then also their app. Their app is very sophisticated, very powerful, and robust. It doesn't crash. Firmware updates they know this business. And then there's 4 riding modes that are very configurable, like 4 parameters per riding mode, and they even have an auto mode, which runs through EcoTrail Boost, so you don't have to switch modes so much. And I think that's adjustable as well. All right, so much for the pros, right? The 5 great things about DJI. Now, why am I saying you shouldn't buy it? Okay, the first reason is because you can't get it. You can't get it in 2025. I predict no chance. If you're a media guy in Europe, you might be able to get in the winter. But they have prototypes. And they'll have media samples from every media that wants it. But it's a Europe release too. So think about that. They have no contact people. They have no people here in the United States. So you're not going to get it. 2026, 2025, are you going to get one here in the US? I don't think so. I don't think there's any chance of us getting one in decent volume. Maybe I can get one. But as a mass consumer, there's no chance. Another issue happening is they released this in Europe first, and I'm not sure how interested they are in the US market, initially, because we're not ready for e-mountain bikes yet, and we're not ready for DJI. We keep trying to ban their drones in this country. So maybe they're getting upset at us. But they have no people here. They have no manufacturers here. I talked to a couple of manufacturers and said, hey, did you hear about this DJI motor last year so you can have your bike ready to go? No, nothing about it. Because one, they're not interested. They just put up their own company, Amflow. And the other reason is it has to be secret. This motor is so revolutionary, and they don't know anyone in the bike industry. They just said, hey, everything's secret until the day we release it. So I'm sure the people at Pivot and Transition, Specialized, I'm pretty sure they just saw this motor the same time that we saw it. And now it's going to take them 2 to 3 years to come up to design a bike around this, to even form the relationship, to get the phone number of a contact person that they can work with. So American companies are coming, but it's going to take, oh my God, 2-3 years before we can have a US bike with this motor. All right, so the second reason why you shouldn't get this is, as good as a motor is, half your experience is, not maybe half, maybe 40%, is dependent on the support infrastructure. This is why Bosch is so good. When you have a problem and your e-bike motor will have a problem for sure. Who can support you? Who can help you out? Is there someone locally that you could go to, or do you have to ship it to Germany or to China to have this thing fixed? So DJI, they have no support infrastructure for bicycling, and predominantly they're known to have really very little support structure in the US. You're not going to find a DJI store, DJI repair center with your drone. Everything is done online, small line. So, the support is not here, and it's not going to be here for a long while. So that's a big consideration for getting this motor. So good and bad, unfortunately, but I think it's a very good development because this is a wake-up call to the motor manufacturers and to the bike industry that, hey, the technology is here. The best motors, the best batteries are being developed in other industries, and why are we putting up with these 5-year-old batteries and old motor technology in our current $10,000, $15,000 e-bikes that are really constrained by, the motors that we have available today. So hopefully we'll shake up the industry and get this get this thing shooting up in terms of quality. All right, thanks a ton, everybody.